Hi, so as many of you will be aware, come patch 7.2.5, which is coming out, we expect mid to late June, between 6 and 8 weeks time, that there's going to be a time walking raid brought out in the form of Black Temple. That is right, when TBC time walking comes around, we're going to be able to do time walking Black Temple as well. Not quite in an LFR format as well. We don't know exactly how it's going to work. We sort of know it's not going to be LFR format. Very exciting. Of course, it had to be Black Temple, didn't it? The Illidan link with Legion. Of course, it was the obvious one. However, in Blizzard's recent Q&A, Ian Hazakostas, the game director, did actually say there is a desire to do other raids for time walking and ones that would link with it. So in other words, what raid from each expansion would you want to see running alongside the time walking dungeons when it's the time for that time walking week? That's a lot of use of word time there. Now, I'm going to open this up to a wider discussion on Tuesday. I'm going to start doing weekly discussion things live on my Twitch stream from next Tuesday. Details there. I'll talk about more of that at the end of the video. But I was also thinking not just in terms of the raids, but actually there's something missing from time walking. We know there is no Warlords of Draenor time walking. Blizzard have already said they don't want with time walking the previous expansion. They want it a couple of expansions back. So we'd sort of see WoD time walking when the next expansion comes out. Sure, great, no problem. But what about vanilla time walking, or as Blizzard would call it, classic time walking? Blizzard have previously said that they have no objections to this in general. However, they keep saying that they don't think the dungeons from that time are suitable for the looking for dungeon format. And we can sort of break down what you want from a looking for dungeon format. You want something where it's obvious which way to go. Sure, there are a number of dungeons where that's not really the sort of thing, you know, like Stratham, it's not always all that obvious. Certainly Moradin, you can have difficulties there as well. So, you know, you also want one that's completed in a nice timely manner. So Blackrock Depths, even though they split it up for the looking for dungeon, the fact that, you know, you can complete one part and do other parts, not necessarily suitable for time walking. Sure, totally get that. There are a number of dungeons, even the revamped dungeons, that would not be suitable for time walking. However, there are some dungeons, I think we can get enough dungeons. Now, generally speaking, they seem to want 6 dungeons for time walking. And also, don't forget that when it comes to the raid, we already have one effectively because they did a special Molten Core one, although albeit in an LFR format, for the 10th anniversary. So they've already got some work done there. We just need the dungeon. So sure, Blackrock Depths, not terribly suitable. But what about Dead Mines? Nothing wrong with Dead Mines. What about Ragefire Chasm and Stockades? They're nice tidy dungeons. You don't really get lost going around those. That surely would be a suitable format for it. No problem. And here's where I think we could get some, you know, something that the community would really get behind. Because then I was thinking Scarlet Monastery, but the original Scarlet Monastery, not what we have now. What we have now are 2 instances in the Scarlet Monastery. We have the library and the monastery itself. Back in the original version, before Cataclysm mucked it all up, we had 4 different instances there. Now, I'm not suggesting you just bring all 4 back, but a couple of them. So, for example, you could still have the library and either the monastery or the armory. Either would be okay. I would like the library, but in its original form. What that would do, it would do 2 things. First of all, I think that, say, the monastery and the library would both be the original versions would both be very suitable. It is obvious where to go. You can complete it in a timely manner, but it would also be good from a nostalgia point of view because we get to see the original dungeon. You sort of bring the original dungeons back specifically for the time walking. So it's not like we can go in them all the time, but when it's time for Classic to come around, it probably only come around like twice a year, but we get to go back to them. And I think a lot of people would really like that. So then we think we need a few more. So what have we got so far? So we can talk about, you know, Dead Mines and Ragefire Chasm and Stockade, a couple of the Scarlet Monastery ones. And then what's wrong with the Sunken Temple, but as it is now? Not as it was then, that would have been a nightmare. But as they changed it, Sunken Temple is fairly straightforward now, isn't it? Wouldn't that make us 6 dungeons? I think that makes us 6 dungeons that we could do that would fit the looking for dungeon format, that would be perfectly suitable for time walking. Why don't we get it done? But let's have a think about it, a bit more detail. So as I said, On Tuesday, I'm going to go on live on my Twitch channel. We're going to have just a half-hour discussion about it. It's not going to go on forever. I'm going to do one of these each week on a different discussion point, which I'll sort of announce at the weekend what we're going to talk about. I'm going to try and make it a regular thing. It's going to be on 7 PM UK time for about half an hour. The stream may go on slightly longer because I'll make myself available for answering any questions that people might have as well on general things. But the topic of discussion for next Tuesday, the inaugural weekly one of these live discussions, is going to be first of all, which raids do we think Blizzard should do for Timewalking to go alongside the Timewalking Dungeon series that already exist? But also, what should Blizzard do to bring in classic Timewalking, vanilla Timewalking, whatever you want to call it, because surely a lot of us actually want that. So I'll leave you with it there. If you've enjoyed the video, and I hope you have, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share for further content. And until next time, I'll see you later.